Well, we're back for another week, Clarkey.
How come when the Leafs are winning? Now that hasn't happened a lot this year. The Leafs are winning. I said, let's get Dangle. Let's talk Leafs. Now the Leafs have lost 8 in a row. Hey, let's get Dangle on. Drury says.
Listen. You
just like to rub it in and look at the little smirk is coming.
No, you buried the lead. You buried the lead. Okay. Look, there's a lot going on in sports right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Canada just advanced
baseball. Yeah.
To the elimination round of the World Baseball Classic for the first time ever. They won their Group 7-2 win over Cuba. The U.S. might get eliminated
because they didn't know the rules.
Because Mark DeRosa doesn't know the rules. Your Baltimore Ravens, if you're still a Ravens fan, they traded for Max Crosby, then they didn't. Bam Adebayo had a historic night in the NBA.
Yeah. Brian Colangelo will be happy. Maybe he'll allow Raptors NBA TV to actually show the Kobe game now because he banned it, eh? He wouldn't let us show it.
I know. There's a lot to talk about in sports, okay? But the noise in this country continues to be around the Toronto Maple Leafs. And listen, we cover this team when they're doing well, when there's 69 goals happening, when Fun's have division titles. We do that stuff, Clarkey, okay? But there's one guy I want to turn to when the noise is loud because nobody breaks it down more passionately and better, in my opinion, than this gentleman here. Friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know who this guy is. It's Steve Dangle. Dangle, how are you, brother? I'm sorry to do this to you. I know it's almost your birthday, and I feel like it's not a cake mood right now in your house. What's going on over there, dude?
I don't know, man. I feel mostly fine, but something's off. I think I need to slip into something a little more comfortable.
No.
Oh, wow. No. What's happening here?
Oh
my God.
Look at this, a Guelph Storm jersey.
It's even better than I thought. I didn't know what he was doing here.
I love free stuff. Let's go.
I love free stuff too.
And it should be. You cover it, of course, Steve, if you're not familiar, and you should be if you're watching junior hockey. Steve's Oh Wow videos breaking down all the top plays in the Ontario Hockey League. He also does Big Dubs and one for the Q as well, WHLQ. It's a great series.
Is it true that Drury pays you off to get some of his calls in there?
Yes.
That's
not well.
That's
not true. And to be perfectly frank, there haven't been many, calls that have been worthy of getting on the show lately. Guelph have had a bit of an up and down season. They're going back to the playoffs. So it's appropriate that you have the jersey. At least they're going. But Dangle, I got to ask you, bro. I love the garb. I love the jersey. It's fantastic. We got to get you out to the Sleeman Center with the boys soon. I have to ask you, man. I've been watching your videos. I got turned on to your videos by a bunch of my Leaf friends way back in college. I've been watching your stuff for a real long time. We're talking 15, 16 years here.
I'm old. He's a star.
He is a star. He is a star. Okay. Covered well in the books. Okay. Get the books. Now, listen, you've been doing this since 2008, I believe was your first season. 08. Okay. 07, 08.
Yeah.
You've been doing this a long time. Is this the most frustrating season that you've ever covered?
Yeah, big time. So here's the thing. The Dave Nonis Leafs were pretty sad sack, but at very least I had an idea of who Dave and his front office felt were good hockey players. I don't know what Brad Treliving thinks is a good hockey player. I have no idea. Do you know? How would you describe them? And the other thing with all the years I've been doing LFR, when the Leafs were bad, they were never wasting the best player they ever had. Right? Best case or best player involved was Phil Kessel. You can make an argument that they didn't do enough with the final years of Matt Sundin, which my first season was actually his last. But I was still too young and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to really appreciate just how screwed they were. This one's bad. I don't feel listened to as a fan, and I don't feel like there's adults at the wheel.
I can't think of a more unwatchable. I just don't. I don't want to watch them. I have no interest.
Why not, Clarkey?
I don't know, because it's just It's so disappointing, I think, because Austin Matthews 2 years ago scored 69 goals. 2 years ago. If he's not injured, we're in deep, deep trouble.
You know what's crazy is they've lost 8 straight, and William Nylander is on a 5 or 6 game point streak. It's unbelievable, and he's the one who's probably more likely injured. Like, we know he's injured. He went into the Olympic break injured.
Shut them down then.
Oh yeah, we're approaching shut them down territory.
Except they're losing, and we obviously as Leaf fans we want them to lose right now. They're losing with these guys, so maybe they shouldn't shut them down.
And that's the only reason Craig Berube still has a job.
100%.
Is
it's the Peter Horachek season all over again. Let's keep this guy. They hired Horachek just to tank.
They've absolutely punted. Absolutely punted on the season, and unfortunately for us, there's 17 games left. Ryan, at least there's like a modicum of possibility the Caps might do something.
Well, they're adding all the Leaf old guys. They got
which is weird. Which is
Liljegren and Sandin together, and David Kampf is there now.
Get that band back together for sure. No, but and they have their first round pick, and they have some young players. Fear not.
They got plenty of young guys, and I actually think that was a factor in bringing those old Leaf fellas over. Was they want to keep some of these guys in the AHL and let them keep cooking? Like, why disturb what's going on in Hershey right now? Ilya Protas is breaking scoring records down there. Like, who cares? By the way, a 3rd round pick, Ilya Protas, and his brother was a 5th round pick. So there you go. It's interesting, and I wanted to ask you this because on the note of Austin Matthews, like the stats, everybody, they're out there. This is only the 12th time in franchise history that the Leafs have lost 8 or more straight. The last time that happened was 14-15 when they lost 11 straight. Matthews, no goals in 12 games. I didn't know this one though, Dangle. And this brings us to a conversation about this guy, and it's real noisy around this fella. And I don't want to hear people going, oh, people are trying to run this guy. No, they play the games and we react. This guy's got 1 even strength point, an assist in his last 10 games. That is an unbelievably nasty statistic for a guy that everybody keeps telling me, well, he's really good defensively and he's a 200-foot player. I can't do that at 13.25. And I want to ask you this. Look, you'll remember this, Steve. We're of the same vintage. You're a couple years older than me. In the mid-90s, a little movie called Space Jam came out. And these little fellas here came and they stole some talent from NBA players. Those are the Monstars. And they turned into these guys here. I swear to God, something similar has happened to Austin Matthews. A little alien came and got in his hockey bag and touched his arm when he reached in there to get his elbow pads one night. And it's just unbelievable what has happened to this guy. Where is he? Will he ever return?
Well, he's not a 200-foot player. He's a 100-foot player, his own end of the red line, because you got Craig Berube out there looking, playing him like he's Dave Steckel. And I do genuinely believe that rock star's still in there. I do.
He has to be.
He might be a little busted up. Like one of the
He better be.
He better be for 13.25. One of the arguments we've had on the podcast recently is my co-hosts Adam and Jesse, they want Berube fired so that Lalonde or someone can take over for the rest of the season just to see what they have with Austin. I think they know. I do. I genuinely think they know. They're playing a terrible brand of hockey, and there's incentive to fail right now. It's horrible to watch. I'm sure it's horrible for his confidence. I'm sure it's horrible for everyone around the team. There's no salvaging what's left. There's only 2 ways. One, you get the young guys in there, see what you got. Bo Grew, great. I know he's 26, but he's an AHL guy. Quillen, get him in there. Coming out of the trade deadline with an identical D-core is a fireable offense. And here's what you do. It's March 11th. You fire Brad Treliving today. By the end of this phone call, he's an incredibly nice man. Incredibly nice man. That's great. You're fired. He's at every turn. he's made terrible choices or no choice, which was the terrible choice, which was a little bit of what we got into at this deadline. Leave yourself from now until roughly May 15th, mid-May. That gives you a little over a month before the draft, sort of like when you fired Dubas and you hired Brad. You would have 2 months to conduct a search for this next GM and hire them and allow them to compile their front office. Firing Craig Berube is the free space. You don't even worry about that. Keith Pelly can do that. He can handle that, whatever. I want to see a full tear down of every, not the players. I think there's something to be salvaged from this roster, but in terms of the decision makers for this team, not one of you. Not one of you. No, thank you.
Do you think there's a happy medium between the team that is playing now that is, well, we were all told that Craig Berube was getting this team ready to be a playoff-ready team, as opposed to the Sheldon Keefe teams who were freewheeling, very successful regular season, but couldn't win a lick in the playoff. Is there a coach out there, and if there is, who is he, in between these two guys who can get them to the playoffs and actually succeed?
That's a great question. I mean, Pete DeBoer has an incredible NHL record.
Yes, he does.
I think he'd be a big cranky pants in this market. I know he doesn't get along with all his players. Dude, somewhere between 50 and 75% of coaches in the current NHL pool share one brain cell. Like they all think the same way, and players hate them the same way. And so I'm not worried about any of that stuff with Pete DeBoer. Guy wins hockey games, right? Doesn't necessarily win them after the second round. Tell you what, would kill for that guy right now. Would absolutely kill for that guy right now.
So he's the best guy out there, you think?
Easily. Yeah, no, he's easily
the best. Spencer Carberry sitting in the wings.
Well, so here's the problem. Kyle Dubas was a guy I once counted on to be the outside the box thinker. And I think he did that for a while. And I think Shanahan got his tentacles in there and that all stopped. You look at him, it's not Carberry. That's the old name now. Dan Muse. I didn't know who that guy was. I'd never heard of that guy. And I can't believe the turnaround I've seen in Pittsburgh. And the Jari trade is one of the most successful pump and dumps I've seen ever. Ever. He had a great start to the season, and Dubas traded him and was just joking. He sucks. Like completely. There's no receipts in NHL trades. There's no takesies backsies. Too bad. Here's what it comes down to with the Leafs and what makes it so difficult to do what I'm asking them to do. In their arrogance, not the Leafs, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and by Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, I mean Rogers, they told one guy who brought shorts to the European Golf Tour, hey, you need to run 6 sport teams. What did anybody think was going to happen? He runs the Leafs. He runs the Raptors. He runs TFC. He runs the Marlies. He runs Raptors 905. He runs the Argos. Of course he's overwhelmed and drowning and doing a bad job. Like what I'm suggesting the team do with their front office and coaching staff happens all the time. And it's no big deal to any team except this one that has more money than the universe, but appears to be afraid to spend it to pay people not to work for them all of a sudden. That was never a problem for Ed Rogers when it came to Joe Natale, wanting to pay an exorbitant amount of money to hire him away from TELUS. And then when he wanted to get rid of him early, he paid him something like $24 million on his way out the door, if I'm quoting the Rogers versus Rogers book correctly. Dry read. It's a really good book, but it's really bleak. So there's no adult there. This guy is alone, and no one held a gun to his head and told him to take this job, but he's alone, and as a result, he's failing, and the team is failing, and the fan base is miserable.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. And I'm curious, Steve, like, I agree that there's something salvageable here just based on the skill level and the talent that we've seen from some of these guys. And I mean, when you say some of these guys, you're really talking about Austin and Willie and a young guy like Cowan, who I watched a lot in the OHL.
Good goaltending. At least they came into the season with good goaltending.
If they're healthy, like there's something here. And then all of a sudden Hildeby bursts onto the scene and doesn't look overwhelmed either, right? No. So like there's some options here to work with. I certainly agree with that. Their track record definitely speaks to that in terms of their skill. Do you think it's as simple as getting a new GM in there, maybe even a president to kind of help out and tinkering with this roster, and they can flip it around and make the playoffs next year? Because that's what everybody's trying to tell me. Oh, don't worry, it's just an off year and they're going to flip this around and make the playoffs next year. Do you envision that being a possibility?
Well, you got to put yourself within striking distance, which they're just not, right? Like, it's a really good division. It's a good conference. Making the playoffs is hard. Maybe we took it for granted. But I think they can put themselves in contention. They're not even in contention. The one bit of good news is I think you can be fooled by March darlings, which when I started making LFR videos, that's what the Leafs were. Every year they would stink and they would go into March and they would go something like 11-3.
And Mateus Michellis would emerge.
Exactly. And we'd be like, you know what? Heading into next year, blah, 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 blah. I think the opposite is actually happening with this Leaf group. Like, they've had some slumps this year. They have not lost 8 straight. In their first 7, I haven't done the math for 8, but in their first 7 games, their goal differential was -18. That over the course of a season is roughly -210. The Vancouver Canucks, who last I checked are last place by 9 points, have a goal differential of roughly -70. So the Leafs over this last little stretch have been 3 times as bad as the Vancouver Canucks. So my answer when people say, are the Leafs really this bad, is, well, fortunately, nobody's this bad. Nobody is this bad, including the Leafs. What they're going through right now is they've completely punted on the season. There's no point trying, and they sold off some guys. Not enough, but I think it would be, they could come back next year and finish dead last and look better than this. Like, I don't think that's the way next season is going to shake out. I think with the right decisions, if they come back with this management group, they're going to fail utter miserably. It's going to be terrible.
We said that about the Jays.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ryan, you delete this before Ed Rogers hears it. You delete it before Ed Rogers hears it, because that has been my fear for months now, that MLSE is going to take the wrong lessons from the Toronto Blue Jays. No, it wasn't patience with the management group. It was firing a money bazooka at the sport of baseball until you got a World Series out of it. You can't do that in hockey. There's a salary cap. It's not going to work.
They also, to be fair, the Jays, and this scares me for them this year, they had a bunch of guys show up and put together unbelievable performances all at the same time. And you want to talk about squeezing blood out of a stone, a very good stone. George Springer, like at 37, are we counting on that? I don't know, man. Like that.
Let's see how it plays out, but I agree.
It's a dangerous road to go down because it's a completely different sport too.
No doubt. Okay, so we've hired our coach, Peter DeBoer. Who's the new general manager?
Boy, that's a great question. Well,
Kevin Adams?
I would love to know. That's the deep dive I'm waiting to read, because I've heard of the new coach bump where nothing changes other than you fire the coach and you bring in a new one. Yeah. I've never seen the GM bump, and I've never seen it lead to literally a first place team.
It's unreal.
It's one of the craziest glow ups I've ever seen. And what's crazy is it began before Kevin Adams was fired, but if the reports are to be believed, when the winning streak started is roughly when the Sabres knew they were firing Kevin Adams and going to bring on Jarmo Kekalainen, but he had to go to Europe. There was somebody passed away. It's one of the most unreal things. Now, here's what I don't want to see, because to quote one of my favorite video games, Red Dead Redemption 2, Brad Treliving is the master finagler of nothing. Like, he's in on everything. Oh, we're in on this, we're in on that. And he was thinking about doing this and thinking about doing that. He thinks about doing way more things than he actually does. Before he made the Nick Waugh trade, the last trade he made was July 16th. It was Dakota Joshua. They had the fourth longest streak in the NHL, and it was arguably the least justifiable. The Jets had the longest one. It lasted almost a calendar year before the trade deadline, but they won the President's Trophy, so they didn't want to make any trades. They won the President's Trophy. Okay, I understand. You think you have a pretty good team. Florida Panthers, I mean, you're doing poorly this season. Everyone understands why you're doing poorly this season. You know you have a cup caliber team. I understand you not making trades. Detroit was the third. And what would you change about them other than make guys uninjured, right? They've been great this season. The Leafs have been bad since basically puck drop, right? But what I don't want to see for the replacement is sort of the other master finagler of nothing, and that's Doug Armstrong, who, like, the Braden Shen trade is a year late. It did happen. Okay. The Falk trade happened. He did make some significant changes. The Robert Thomas smoke and mirrors, the Colton Parayko smoke and mirrors. And you could be like, well, he invoked his no trade clause. Yeah, so did Torrey Krug. Did everyone forget about that one? Remember the Kevin Hayes deal between the Blues and the Flyers? And it was supposed to be this giant, mega 12-part trade. It fell apart because Doug made a trade without making sure one of the guys who gets to say, I don't want to be traded, says, I don't want to be traded. Right? So oddly, I would trust him to be the president and manage up, because that's what Brad desperately needs, is someone to manage up. In terms of who I would want to be the general manager, this sounds cruel because Brad is genuinely such a nice person. Any other living, breathing human being, I don't know what he wants. Boy. I don't think he knows what he wants, and he's getting fleeced. He tried to trade Matthew Nyes to the Habs. Are you unwell?
I wanted to ask you about that, dude. That was a crazy story.
Supposedly,
what are they doing?
I've heard it enough times that I believe it, right? And there's no trade with Montreal that makes any sense. All the young guys or prospects that they have that could conceivably be in a Matthew Nyes deal are either far below Nyes' value or far above. Like David Reinbacher, well, that's not even close on one end of the spectrum. Michael Hage, well, that's not even close on the other end of the spectrum. Why on earth? Stop. Okay. Rule number 2, stop getting fleeced. Rule number 1, stop getting fleeced in division. Do you have a humiliation kink? What's the matter with you? I've never been less on board with a single thing the Toronto Maple Leafs are doing.
Yeah, it's tough. See, Clarkey, this is why we have Dangle on. You asked me at the start of it. This is why. I need to ask you too, dude. Like, look, last week, Clarkey, and I don't know how much you're paying attention to our socials and everything. I pissed a lot of people off last week, man. I had emails, I had DMs, I had people coming after me at all corners of the internet because I suggested that the Toronto Maple Leafs might be historically the worst drafting franchise in the National Hockey League. And I made a statement that they've never drafted and developed an elite number 1 defenseman. And people were emailing me, what about Borje Salming? What? I'd like to educate everybody. Borje Salming was not drafted by the team. He was signed as an undrafted European free agent in 1973 by Jerry McNamara. So everybody calm down on that front. I respect him. He's an unbelievable player.
Also,
people were coming at me with Turnbull and Caberlet. I'm like, I said elite, ladies and gentlemen. I said elite. So I just like to defend myself.
One All-Star game. Also, Salming was 1973.
Yeah.
Clarkey, how old were you for that?
7.
Oh, that's
7.
All right. Hey, I was there. I remember.
7.
Yeah, Inge Hammerstrom and Borje Salming.
And
Ballard said you didn't like Hammerstrom because you could go into the corners with a dozen eggs in his pocket and come out without breaking them.
Yeah. Yeah. And always a great thing to say about your own player.
Exactly.
Yes.
Smart guy. Exactly.
Very good. Very smart guy. And look, people were like acting like I was taking a shot at Borje or something. I'm not. I said drafted and developed. The developed part, sure. Like, give that to you. But I did say elite. And as much as Borje is a legend, I don't know about that. And look, I think whoever they get as GM, Steve, I would be willing to go so far as to say, and I bet you these people are all good people too, they got to completely rejuice the entire scouting department.
Yeah, they stole Mark Leach away from the Dallas Stars, which I'm excited about. But like,
Mark's a good scout.
Their amateur scouting, I have a little bit more faith in. Their pro scouting. Holy Lord.
Is Mike Penny still on this pro scout?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
Here, let me give you another name that I would aim a money bazooka at this person. Jim Nill.
Oh my God, yeah. If that was possible, holy.
And I've said this for months since we're saying names. Let me throw one out there. Gregory Campbell. I would pay $10 million.
The league on our side.
I would pay $10 million a year just to have the most favorable officiating in the entire league. You see who leads the league in power plays?
Yeah,
it's Florida. Yeah. It's Florida. You see
who
gets away with everything?
Let's get George Peros on salary too.
Hey, he's looking for a gig. That's what I keep hearing.
Well, good.
Maybe. Maybe.
I hope someone does hire them. I'll send them a fruit basket so that his reign of terror over the league can be over.
Yeah, I agree, man. There's some weird stuff going on with all that. And I mean, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about too. I know that you have, and you guys have all voiced, none more so than yourself on the fantastic Steve Dangle podcast, your issues with the league and league discipline. Clarkey, I got to break my promise, brother. What did I say to you at the start of the season that I wasn't going to bring up player safety?
You did.
I have to do it.
And I said you will at some point.
I have to do it. You're right. I owe you a beer, brother.
So long.
I did. It's March 11th. It's March 11th.
And I tried to egg him on a couple times, and he wouldn't take the bait.
You tried to get me going. There was an incident that happened the other day where I thought Evgeny Malkin was trying to chop down a tree. That neck slash on Rasmus Dahlin, and look, I get it. Yeah, Rasmus Dahlin's a rat and he's dirty to play against.
Whatever.
I'm not joking, and people were calling me crazy for this. I would have given Evgeny Malkin 25 games for that. That was a psychotic thing to do. And I cannot believe he got 5 games for that. I don't know, man. I saw that. And because when you see stuff where it's like, oh, it's a bad hit, a guy gets checked,
right,
and it's a headshot, you can go, okay, well, it's 3 or it's 4, whatever, because maybe the guy doesn't have history and it was a hockey play. Like he was trying to throw a check, right? There's no anything that you can throw in front of me and explain to me how what Evgeny Malkin did, which, by the way, he took a couple beats then did it.
Oh, yeah.
The puck's not up in the air. Dahlin's not skating by him. He's got his stick up, and he brings it right down with pure intent right onto his jugular. There's nothing to do with the sport there.
No.
And it's vicious. 5. We're giving 5 for that? By the way, Malkin has a suspension history, so
5 because he's a repeat offender. Which means it would have been less. So what is the major discernible difference between what Malkin did to Dahlin and what Chris Simon did to Ryan Hullwig years and years ago? Remember that?
Or what we saw in the OHL earlier this year. Remember that play?
Yes, that was Brampton and
Yeah.
Oshawa.
Yes, Brampton and Oshawa. Brady Blaseg got slashed. Now, the difference there was Blaseg had his back turned to the player,
which is
Luke Dragosek. I'll say his name. It was Luke Dragosek. Yeah. He did it, not me. That's the only discernible difference, is that Blaseg goes to skate away and Dragosek just hammers him in the side of the cheek and cut him open too. Like, Dahlin wasn't cut, but I'm just looking at it and being like, really? 5 is what we cooked up? Like, hit me with double digits here. We're slashing guys in the neck. Some guy's going to do that now and turn around and go, well, you only gave him 5. Like, they set horrific precedents at every single step, Dangle. I don't understand how this league sits there and goes, good job, everyone. And they leave the office every night and are just like, that was great work. It's crazy stuff.
You have an inmate running the asylum in George Peros. Like,
why can't they call Paul Correa? Beg Paul Correa to come do it.
Well, because they'll call you names and slurs if you even suggest putting someone who's not a traditional tough guy in there. Like put that suggestion out there online. That's what you're gonna get called. Hockey. And like, this is why I've been a little cooler about it this year. One, there's fewer stakes on account of the Leafs are bad. But 2, I understand I'm a hockey outsider. Like, I never played. I play beer league now. I suck. It's fine. I'm just a fan who talks about it. Hockey's not interested in improving hockey. It's not. Like, the people at the very top have no interest in this. They took the lesson that they took from the Four Nation face-off, and it's gone in that direction, right? Oh, everyone loved the fights. We're going to go that route. But what they also are protecting that is less justifiable than all the fights is all the stick work. And I don't understand it. And they're trying to protect stars from being suspended too long, but they're not trying to protect stars from anything else, which I don't understand in the slightest. But the guys inside the sport who make money off the sport and that's their whole living, they don't care and they don't want to fix it. And at that point, I'm like, well, I do my gig. And I do however well that I do based on the job that I do. If you want your product to be that and also lose an eye at some point, that's your prerogative. Like, what am I going to... They don't care. So why should I? I don't give it... You know what? Maybe it's like 300. That's, it's just an eye. The gods saw fit to grace me with a spare. Because that's where we're heading. It's going to happen. When is it going to happen? I don't know. I'll be there to cover it when we find out. But what's going to be incredible and nauseating that day is people bending themselves into a pretzel trying to explain that it was just an accident.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We've been heading this way for a long time now.
Yeah. McSorley, Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, dude.
All that stuff about, back in the day hockey, like, it was like literally criminal activity. But like, we were getting kind of away from that in recent years. Don't listen to your uncle. Your uncle's wrong. It's in the last 2 or 3 years, hockey has gotten considerably more violent at the NHL level. Way more.
Yeah. The stick work. And I mean, I can tell you from experience, and, we referenced an incident. I can tell you from watching a lot of junior hockey, it's bleeding down. It's bleeding down.
Why wouldn't it?
When's the last time you saw an instigator called?
An instigator in the NHL?
Yeah.
You could have had one.
I saw one
yesterday,
but
last night. Yeah, like
for sure, McCabe.
Absolutely,
that was clearly instigating.
Yep.
Clearly, they don't call it anymore.
Yeah.
When's the last time they called the second offense on a face-off? Remember, it was going. It went wild for a while. Now it's like just
for a month.
Clarkey, here's a penalty I've never seen called once in my entire life: pushing a guy offside. That's a penalty.
Well, it's interference, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I don't know. I assume so because I've never seen it called. Never, not once in my entire life. I found out it was a rule a few years ago.
No, Steve,
so this violence. Let me ask you.
Battle.
All this violence in hockey now, and someone predicted this probably 20 years ago. Do you think? And after this guy who I used to produce his show, Don Cherry, just got the Order of Ontario. Is it time for either Sportsnet or the Leafs or someone in hockey to honor this guy at a game?
Oh boy,
I don't think it'll happen.
That's a real interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know why he was canned.
Mm-hmm.
And I understood it, and I understand it. It's an interesting conversation about. There's an interesting conversation to be had about honoring important but imperfect people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
this guy had a major impact on the sport for a lot of years.
Yeah, it's
and the entertainment factor of the sport specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm turning 38 tomorrow, and I make a living screaming about hockey for a living, and you think Don Cherry had no impact on who I am?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that's same here.
Yeah.
I mean,
he absolutely did. And the way he would captivate a room full of adults when I was a kid, that was a fascinating thing to watch. I'm looking from the TV to all the grownups in the room, and I'm like, I struggle as a 5 or 6 year old to get their attention, and they're all glued to this guy wearing a bright pink suit. Like, what is it about him and that magnetism? It is a little, it's odd to basically make someone the face of a sport in a country for decades and decades, and then one day decide completely we're done with you. And yet he got canned for what people still think is a relatively innocent comment. We all knew what he meant. And it's, man, like my college, my university entrance essay that I had to write was called Sour Grapes, and it was about all the things Don Cherry had said that are technically CRTC violations. like all the the women in the locker rooms, and the women yapping behind the bench, and that's why she got hit with the puck, and all the stuff with immigrants and European
xenophobic stuff.
So like here, I'll give you a good anecdote about the complicated feelings, nuanced feelings people have about Don Cherry. One year when he was still there and I was still working for the company, I was filling in for Sofia Jurcevic, who would go into the visiting dressing room, and she would do a bunch of interviews for a bunch of different purposes, but she would also accumulate stuff that they would use on air. And one of the things they were doing well ahead of time was they were gathering people saying, "Hey, happy birthday, Don, happy birthday, Grapes," ahead of his birthday. And they would put together a compilation of people saying happy birthday to Don Cherry. Most of the Canadian guys did it. Basically all the Canadian guys did it. I can't think of any who refused. There was one European player who refused. And there was a French Canadian player who I said, hey, if you want to wish Don Cherry a happy birthday, just say it into the camera. And he just goes, and what if I don't?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I looked up at this very large man and I went, well, you don't have to. Don't worry about it at all. A lot of people grew up loving this guy for a reason. And a lot of people grew up hating this guy for a reason. Can everyone be right at once? It's a conversation worth having, and it's just an answer I don't feel like I have.
Well, I want to hear this discussed with you and Adam and Jesse on one of your episodes, okay? And just tell me when, because I'm sure you'll give me credit for the topic. I want to hear this discussion.
This guy just needs to hear his name on the show. Clarkey, come on, hear it.
Yeah.
I will say, though, you're right, Steve. Like, it's obviously a very complicated topic for a number of different reasons. I will say, though, that, I mean, if the answer is a blatant no from the hockey establishment, that is a grand flex in hypocrisy, I will say.
Oh,
from the people that run this game. Like, what I can't think of anything more hypocritical, really. And yeah. I'm not advocating for him to be honored, not honored. I grew up, I was entertained by him. I got the video every year for Christmas. We all did. Every year in my stocking was Rock'em Sock'em 7, 8, 9. I had all of them. I still have them. They're on my shelf. It was the best part of Christmas.
8 was the best.
You'd get 100%.
8's my favorite. Yeah.
8's great. 9, any of the ones where there's just 5 minutes of Scott Stevens, it's fantastic. Because you'd get all your buddies over, you'd go on the outdoor rink on Christmas Day, and then you'd all come back to someone's house because we all got a copy of it, and we'd all sit down with hot chocolates and watch Rock'em Sock'em. And we'd watch it 6 or 7 times.
Oilers Cujo versus the Stars.
Oh my God!
Hey, look at what I found. I still remember it. Like, I can quote.
What a bloodbath that was too. Darian Hatcher just chainsawing people to the ice.
Man,
my God,
man,
what an era that was, dude. Well, Dangle, we really appreciate this, brother. I love that you threw the Storm uniform on. I appreciate all the love you give me on the show too, man. I really, really appriciate it.
Oh, so you give him love. I see.
Well, Clarkey, I'm doing stuff.
I'm just teasing you. I'm doing stuff.
I don't know if I'm
doing it good.
I got to say, I wish I saw you in Oshawa the other day because I was at the Jennies versus Storm game. I thought the Storm were going to kick their ass because Tyler Hopkins scored in the first minute. But the reason I was at that game, and this was my favorite part of the game, was my son and his Timbits team got to play the second intermission.
That's awesome.
Wow. Man. Did they have a big brawl or no?
No. So they all had such a hard time moving around because they're 5 years old, playing on ice at the end of a period before it's flooded. Even the coaches were like, "Oh my God, that was terrible," but they were pumped. They were.
Remember Saturday's Heroes?
So
that a great show.
Love that. Yeah,
I remember everything you've ever done, Clarkey.
I know.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Remember Leaf Space?
Yeah. Leaf Space. I do.
Hell yeah,
I do.
Oh boy. Awesome stuff. Well, Dangle and everybody, please make sure that you subscribe and tune in to the SDPN. They're doing all sorts of great stuff. By the way,
what are you going to do when you grow up, by the way?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I think the answer is get shingles and then follow it up by getting an ulcer.
Well, one down. I want to tell everybody that you might be familiar with Steve and go, the hockey guy. They're doing all kinds of coverage on SDPN. They got F1 stuff on there with Tim Horaney. It's fantastic. They got Agent Provocateur. They got NFL coverage. They're doing a lot of great stuff over there. Please subscribe. It's a great Canadian company. Please support them. Dangle, you're the best, brother. I can't wait to see you at the Sleeman Center next year.
Absolutely. Great to talk to you guys as always, especially Clarkey.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. Thanks, Dangle. Really appreciate you, brother. All right, there you go, Steve Dangle. Again, please follow Steve Dangle and the SDPN. Him, Adam Wild, and Jesse Blake. They do awesome stuff. Again, been listening to the podcast, watching it now, fully produced. It's so fun. You can watch it on YouTube. You can get it where you get this show, all your favorite podcast apps, the whole rigmarole. It's fantastic. Now, listen, like I said at the start, there's a lot of stuff to cover in sports, okay? And that includes golf. It's a big week. And look, I'm just thanking Steve here. What a beauty. That guy's the best. He's so busy too. The Players is this weekend.
It is. I'm trying to get a hold of Doig here now.
Wednesday,
Doig,
March 11th.
You know,
yes,
Doig's over in
overseas.
Australia. He got caught in a traffic jam on the way to the golf course.
I thought you were going to say a typhoon or something. I was like,
in a traffic jam. And
traffic jam.
I've sent him the link for the show.
Ain't that the thing, eh?
But he hasn't clicked on it. So...
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give him about 5 minutes here because we got to make picks. And if he's not here, we're making picks without him, okay? And that'll just open up some players that maybe we wouldn't have had access to, Clarkey, okay? I'll tell you what, too. You know what we'll do if Doigie's not here? Because here's the deal. If you're not familiar with our golf picks on this show, which really just boil down to bragging rights, usually for me, we pick 4 players. I won like 7 events last year. You won the Masters, though.
I did.
You won the Masters pickup. Okay. I won everything else. Doigie won twice, though. I can't remember where, though. I think he won the U.S. Open.
Doigie struggled last year in the picks. Let's be honest.
He was up. Well, he kept picking Rory all the time. And I don't think I'll pick Rory this week, dude. The back issues that are going on. I'm nervous about Rory. I got to tell you. I want your opinion on this, Clarkey. Look, like you're a golf guy. You've I've been out with you. I think you're a pretty good golfer, to be honest, for as amateur as you are. I think you're pretty good. Like you got a good command of the clubs. You know how to play the game, right? So I want your opinion on this. If we do get Doigie, amazing. If we don't, I'd love to ask him this, of course.
Can we take a break?
Well,
here's the deal. He's 16 minutes. Oh, no. Yeah, you're in a hurry. I can't take a break. I told him we can't take a break. Ryan's got to go. So that's okay.
Have somewhere.
You're a busy guy. You're a busy guy. I get it. Okay, go ahead. Ask me what you're going to ask me. This
is the busiest time of year for me. I'm not complaining. It's good busy. Listen, our buddy Akshay, don't call me Ashtray Bhatia, which is one of the more ridiculous nicknames in this sport that Tiger apparently gave to him. Have you seen those videos of the Tiger golf? Like, did you see that hole in one?
I saw the replay of it. Yeah.
That went viral. Like, that was so sick. Like,
I wanted to get into this WGL, but I just haven't been able to.
It looks like a good. They're having fun out there. Well, look,
and that's the important thing, and you can hear them talking and hear what they're going through and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I like.
Him up. He's like, I got this.
By the way, just a quick little note: my guy won the Briar.
Yes, you had Dunstone.
I did.
Finally breaking through.
I was so happy for him.
Yeah,
I was happy when he eliminated Jacobs and then won it. I was very
super
happy.
Good guy. Really good stuff for Matt Dunstone. But there's Akshay Bhatia at Arnie tournament, wins the Arnie Palmer. And I need your opinion on this, brother. Is this guy cheating? People are talking like this.
Oh, no, we got another cheater.
People are talking like this guy's committing some cardinal anchoring sin with the broomstick. Is he cheating, in your opinion? And should they ban his putter? Like, I can't even recall another guy that uses it off the top of my head.
Well,
like,
you can't put it in your belly button.
You can't anchor it to your chest. You see him there with the thumb at the top of the broomstick. You can't anchor it against your body. You got to have it out here. And people are going, well, his shirt's baggy and you can't tell if he's anchoring it. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess the easiest thing to do would be to ban it, but I don't know. What are you going to do? Tell the guy to wear a skin tight shirt? Like, I don't know. He was rolling the rock though, man, at Arnie's place. Like he put together an unbelievable performance.
He did.
And wins the Arnie Palmer. Like, I don't know. I just wanted your opinion on it. Like, it's an interesting topic.
If it's such a gray area that you got to change the rules to make it a little more black and white, that's my feeling. Right?
How much more black and white can they make it? You can't anchor it against your body.
Well, then you got to.
That sounds pretty black. Like, I don't know. Then there's not some sub rule to it where it's like, unless you're wearing a sweater or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just.
I get that.
Look,
but
and that's why I wish Doig was here, because I'll tell you, I'm not a smart enough guy to adequately speak on this. So I don't know. I just wanted your opinion on it, man. You're a golf guy, so
I think all those putters are silly, to be honest with you. And I don't think.
I mean, sure,
I hear people. I hear people talk about putters all the time, and it's just all feel. Like you could just putt with a hockey stick for all that matters. And you know those Happy Gilmore. Now Doig is calling me. Should I take the call live on the air here? Let's just.
Why don't Doig, you? What's he saying?
We're live on the air here.
What's he?
Yeah,
this is an instigating first.
Click on that link there. I emailed you the link.
Boy, this is some high level television.
He says, "What do I do?" I said, "Well, I emailed him the link."
And you know what? Honestly, this should work easier for him because he's on his phone.
Because he said, "I don't have Zoom." I said, "We don't use Zoom anymore. We use this beautiful new thing called SteamYard."
You're sewering our buddy Doig. SteamYard, yes.
Stream, I said.
SteamYard. No, I thought you said SteamYard at the start there. StreamYard. It's a good platform, man. The show looks good.
It looks good. So
the show looks good. You look good. We got good looking guests coming on here. Dangle in a Guelph Storm jersey. How about that? That's a Canadian heritage moment for me.
I know I'm going to rile some people up, but just quickly, someone should bring Don Cherry down to a game and let the fans stand up and.
I don't care. Honestly.
Oh
my God!
You go ahead, Adam. There we go.
Oh my gosh. There he is, our golf expert himself from down under, Ian Doig. Doigie, how you doing?
I'm all right, boys. How are you guys doing?
We can hear you and everything. We can see you. We can hear you.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen.
Sorry, I couldn't let you get to the golf course. Ryan has a prior commitment that
I gotta go.
So we only have 7 minutes left here.
We got 8 minutes.
Sorry, because I'm down on the ocean and it would have been a beautiful view in the background, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? You're just gonna have to do the beautiful view of Ian Doig's car roof. Now, listen, let's just get down to business. As Clarkey said, we don't have a lot of time. I won the most events last year. Okay, so I'm going to retain.
I won the Masters, so I get.
I don't care. We're not. I'd let you do it if we were picking for the Masters, but we're not. We're picking for the players. So I'm going to start things off.
Okay.
And this might shock some people based on who's where and what. I'm going to tell you right now. My first pick, Colin Morikawa.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
That's a great pick. He's already got a win this year. He's playing well.
He looks different. He looks different. Last year, he was all over the place, Doigie. Clarkey, you can.
I don't even know who's playing.
You've had 7 hours to do homework. I can't help you.
Doigie, every big name on tour is playing. That's all you need to know. Okay, Clarkey, it's your pick.
Next.
I don't like this pick, but I have to pick him because he's just not playing great right now. But I'll pick Scotty Scheffler.
You got to take him, buddy. I'm playing a hot hand. Doigie for 2.
Pick. I know it's a bad pick, but you got to pick him.
It's Scotty.
All right, so obviously I'm going to take my boy Rory McIlroy, even though he
with the bad back.
He was in good form. I think he withdrew just to protect. He had the week to get ready. He's going to be ready to go. I like him.
Okay.
And my other all-time pick, who I pick all the time, who was in good form last week, I think he's going to have a great week, is Ludwig Ahlberg.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
How did you ever switch things up? Like, Clarkey? It wasn't very successful last year. You didn't win at hardly anything.
Not because of
well, it's okay.
He was really good.
We'll be okay.
Really good.
Okay.
He'll be okay. Clarkey,
and he's going to be good this week.
My pick?
Yeah.
I am picking I will go with a guy who I think is going to have a terrific week. Min Woo.
I like Min Woo. I like Min Woo a lot. He's been rolling the rock too. He's really been putting well. Even though he doesn't like the wind. We don't like the wind. Min, not windy Woo Lee. Okay, me for 2 then.
Yeah.
Look, I love this guy. I want badly to take Shane Lowry, and I can't do it right now just because of the bad place he finds himself in. So I'll turn to another Brit. I'll turn to another guy that I like a lot. His name is Matthew I Love My Shoes Skechers.
You guys just always pick the same guys.
Because they're good. I win all the time. And I'll follow it up with another Englishman that I love. Mr. Fleetfoot, Tommy Fleetwood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many are we picking,
team.
by the way? 4 guys or?
We're picking 4 as per usual.
Okay.
So Clark,
that's fine.
3.
Okay.
Your third pick here.
I am picking with my third pick, not Min-Woo Lee, but Si-Woo Kim.
I like that too. Si-Woo.
Clarky, you're looking at my team and my list, aren't you? And you're just taking all my players.
Doigie, I would never do that.
Well, Doigie, round your team out with 2 more picks here, brother.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I'll tell you what, I didn't like the way he finished last week, but I like the way he plays. I've picked him many times before. The tee shots he hit in the playoff in the last hole last week didn't look good, but I think Daniel Berger is going to have a good week. He's a real good player, and he plays difficult golf courses very well. So I'm going to go with Daniel Berger.
Yep.
And then my next pick, a little maybe off board, but he also had a good week last week, is Sahith Theegala.
I like that, dude. Yes, Sahith. Okay, there's your team, Doigie. Clarky, round out your squad.
There you go, Clarky. I threw a curveball at you, Clarky.
You did. And there's lots of guys available still, but here's the guy who I like to pick, and I have picked him before, but one of the biggest reasons I like
Ontario.
No. One of the reasons I like to pick this guy is because the first time I picked him, I got a "Who is Jake Knapp?" text back from Doigie.
Wow.
Well, we all know who he is. I was way ahead of the curve, but I'm going to pick Jake Knapp to round my team out.
Okay, well, listen, given that I got to pick first, I'm liking the way that my team is shaping out, and I really like that I'm going to get to take this guy with my last pick, gentlemen.
The cheater?
I'm really excited to add Cameron Young to my squad. No, Cameron Young.
That's good.
Cameron Forever Young. Forever Young.
I've picked him so many times,
and
he disappoints me every time.
I don't need him to be my best player. He is in good form, and he loves Sawgrass, too.
Doigie, we get 2 minutes. What's going on down under? How's your game? What's happening?
I'll be very honest. I really have struggled for the last little while. There's one more event left. I'm actually coming home way earlier than I had anticipated. Unfortunately, in the hierarchy of the tour down here through the Christmas period, there was some changes of staffing. And one guy only lasted 2 weeks. And at some point in time during that period of time, contracts for our tournaments didn't get signed. And so we lost 6 tournaments. So I'm supposed to be down here for 6 more events over in Adelaide, and they've all been canceled. I haven't been playing very well. I was very, very tired. We had a lot of travel and a lot of tournaments in a very short period of time, and I got exhausted. So I'm in reserve for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get in. I'm down here. If not, I'll go play a couple other golf courses that are great golf courses. Then I'm going to go visit some friends up north, about 6-hour drive for 5 days, and then I'm flying home. I'll be back in Canada next week. So
well, you know what,
but it's been a great trip. I haven't played well, but it's been a great trip. So
well, I'm glad to hear that. And listen,
3 top 10s.
We're glad that we got you on the show for the picks. Good luck to you. And at the end of the day, the most important thing, you look good. So that's all that really matters, brother. And we're excited to get you back in Canada. Thanks to Doigie. Thanks to our buddy Steve Dangle. You can find the show on YouTube, all your favorite podcast apps. Follow us at Instigating Pod on social media and find us on Rogers TV as well. We'll be back next week with more Instigating. We'll see you then.